Hi, welcome to the PowerTrip Podcast. We're your hosts,
Charmaine
and Saquon.
And on today's episode of the PowerTrip Podcast, we have a lot of great topics to go over. We're going to start by talking about our trip to DC this past weekend.
Like a week ago. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed myself.
So we went to DC with his family, and we stayed out there for the weekend. We went to the National Air and Space Museum. We went to the International Spy Museum.
Which I missed.
Yeah, he missed it because he wasn't feeling well. And then we also went to the National Harbor, which was really nice because there was a traditional Indian wedding going on. And they had an elephant outside. They brought out all the stuff. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was nice. It was cool to see that.
It was. The only thing I didn't like is that they were feeding the elephant Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Me either. That wasn't cool. But
I thought you could feed them like peanuts. Don't they eat peanuts?
Yeah, at the circus. Well, I'm sure in real life, like, in their, but I mean, in their natural habitat, I don't think they eat peanuts. Elephant. I don't know.
They set it up for peanuts.
To Jolly Ranchers? That's not a step up. Anyway, the overall trip was pretty good. We're going to talk about the power trip of the week later on in the episode, and that comes from that trip. I was power tripping. Yeah, so we'll discuss that later, though. And then also, that was a week ago. This past weekend, we ended up going to Lake Pleasant. That's here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And it was our first time going, and we've been out here for years, as we said before, but we've never been to the lake. We never even really knew what to expect, and it was a really great time.
Yeah. I had a good experience. It was a good experience being out there. You would think we just got in the water as well, but we went hiking and we got to see wild donkeys.
They're called burros.
Mm-hmm. And man, I wish I would have got that experience on camera. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was funny because when we went hiking, we took our dog Kaiser with us, and on the trail there was a wild burro. And Kai, he's a little finicky. He's very protective, and when he sees people, animals, anything, he can get protective if he, is unsure of what's going on. So we were hesitant on, like, okay, if we keep walking, is this burro gonna just get off the trail? Because also it was two of the burro's children that were a little bit, away from the burro in the trail. So we knew that, moms are going to have their protection mode on. So we didn't know, whether we should risk our lives or not.
At least this is what we think in the scenario is.
Exactly. This is going through our mind while we're on the trail. So I was like, okay, well, let's get a little bit closer. At least we can get some good pics of the burros.
No, you said, let's get a little bit closer. You told me to go a little bit.
Oh yeah, I told him. Well, I was holding Kai, and I didn't want him to bark or scare them, and I didn't know if they're gonna run towards us or away from us. I was hoping for fight or flight. They would choose flight, but I didn't know. So he's gonna tell me, "Oh, you can walk with me."
But you didn't though.
I did. Yes, I did. We walked with you, and then I stopped because I didn't want to get too close, and you looked to see where the trail was going, to see whether the burro was on the trail or not. So you
wasn't there with me when I went to do that, though, right?
No, I said we walked with you, and then we stopped, and you kept going a little bit further. It wasn't that much further. But anyway, so, okay. Anyway, so the burro, it was looking at us. Kai noticed them. He was just, very attent and just watching. And
he didn't even notice the one on the trail. He noticed the two. Yeah,
the kids. So then, though, the mom, I think that was the mom, made a sound I've never heard. I took off going the other way. Yeah, I wasn't taking no risk. I was like, you know what? We got your message loud and clear. And we went the other way. We went back, which was still good because it's been a while since we've been hiking. We usually would go hiking like not every week, but at least maybe like twice a month in the past. And it's been a while, so I was a little bit sore, and we got a good amount into the hike anyway. So when we went back, it was still a nice hike back, and Kai enjoyed it. We even got to go into the lake, and our dog is scared of water, but surprisingly he did really well. And we even put him in so that he could swim, and he was swimming. It was so cute. So we do have pictures on our Instagram if you guys want to check that out. Just a few pictures from the experience.
Yeah, and we went off the trail to do that.
To get in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to, because there was other places where you can camp there, fish there.
We didn't have to.
No, to get to the shore.
We weren't even supposed to do what we did.
Okay. I'm saying we didn't have to do that, though, because there's other access to the lake, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you think there were other parts like that?
Yeah. Where people were camping. But anyway, that was our last 2 weekends. We had a great time. Next weekend, we're going to the circus with my brother, my nieces, and nephews. So we'll let you know how that goes. And we plan on doing pottery this week.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our first time. So we'll let you guys know and take some pictures and videos of that and put that on our social media. So our first topic for episode 1 is going to be about self-love. And self-love is very important, not just for like being in a relationship, but just for yourself, just loving and valuing yourself.
Yeah, I believe it's really important. You don't know how long you're going without really loving yourself until it's like too far, in my opinion.
What do you mean by that? What is too far?
What's too far?
Mm-hmm.
I think too far is when you just lost. Like, I really can't explain it.
So like you don't necessarily know who you are anymore? Is that what you mean? Or
almost, yeah.
Kind of lose your identity because you haven't loved yourself, so you may be given to like other people more, or like changing who you are for other people because you don't really love yourself.
Yeah, you probably didn't even change who you are. You just can't even. You don't notice it. You don't really notice it. You don't feel one with that. If I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but you know, when you do love yourself, you know, you just have that little you know, you have a little, your spirit's a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. You know, things like that. And I think it helped push you higher in life. That's all.
Yeah, I think also with self-love, it's important because, like, so to me, self-love is taking time for yourself, you know, eating right, making sure your body is healthy, taking your mental health as a high importance, and just kind of really knowing who you are at your core. Mm-hmm. That's self-love to me. So I think by doing that, you, like you said, you're going to be vibrating on a higher level spiritually. You're going to be confident in who you are. Your actions are going to show that you love yourself. And by loving yourself, you're able to love others. Exactly. You know, the saying, like, you can't help heal somebody or help somebody if you haven't never helped yourself. Like, how can you give when you don't have? Mm-hmm. So to me, I think that is why self-love is extremely important, because you want to make sure that what you're putting out into this world, you already have within you.
That's true. And these are things you can't pay for. Like,
exactly. It's invaluable.
Yeah. You can't pay for it. If you lose it, you know, it's hard to get it back. Mm-hmm. You know, that things like that could burn bridges.
Yeah, and it's definitely, if you don't love yourself, and let's say your relationships are going to illustrate that. Yeah. Because if you don't love yourself, then for one, you could possibly be taken advantage of. True. You can definitely take out things on other people that's just a reflection of your inner being like in a disarray. Because you know, it's not back and back. Like, you're not in balance. You
take advantage of other people too.
Yeah, that's true too. And maybe do it unconsciously. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not really you as a person, but you not you not loving yourself and you not doing what you can for yourself make you take advantage of other people.
Yeah. So what are some tips that you do for as far as self-love goes?
So for me, it's easy for me. I have to just be me. That's self-love for me, is really just being me.
Authentically, not worrying about what other people have to say, all like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's enough for me to keep me happy and keep my spirits high. Also, no, I can't even say that. I can't say that because I went through a time where I was just working and I wasn't in school. I wasn't making any music. I wasn't doing anything. That hurt me.
Right.
That hurt me a lot. Right. I can't even explain how that felt. Like, I couldn't sleep. I don't know. I can't explain it.
It affected you. Yeah. And it's going to, especially when you feel like you're off your life's purpose, when you're not doing the things that you feel like you should be doing. And that's where I feel like self-love plays a big part, because with self-love, you would understand that this is a temporary life situation. Yeah. This isn't who I am. This is just what I'm going through right now. And you still would work to get out of that situation, but you probably be more at peace with knowing that this doesn't mean I'm a failure. This doesn't mean that, like this, it wouldn't keep you up at night with self-love.
Yeah. And okay. So that feeling is where I felt lost.
Right.
And internally I'd be asking myself, excuse me for saying this, but I'd be like, yo, what you doing, my nigga? Like, that's my question to myself. Like, what you doing? And I sit there and I'm thinking, like, really, what am I doing?
Right.
What the fuck am I doing? I'm not moving.
Okay. This is
excuse me, but this is why it is. I mean, you think kids listen?
I think kids will listen, yes.
Okay.
So he's gonna refrain from cursing from now on.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
He will.
But that's part of me being myself. Like that, that's how I talk to myself sometimes.
Well, no, that's understandable. Understandable. And I get it, because even with me, even though like I was going through medical school and things looked all peachy on the outside looking in, like everyone, says how proud they are and how successful I am and how much of a motivation and things of that nature. For me, it's like, that's all great and dandy from the outside looking in, but while going through school, I had my struggles as well. Yeah. And I don't, it's bad, but I don't like to ask for help. And I don't. At all. Yeah, I really don't. And I also don't like to express how I'm feeling. And I've been working on that, because I know that's just important, is to be able to express yourself, to feel your emotions, and learning, like going through those situations, it taught me self-love. It taught me that, because also I was younger than most of my former classmates. So there was an insecurity in that. Like, these people have been through careers. They've, have more experience in life than I do. And
I want to ask you a question about that. Sorry for cutting you off. And I mean, I'm a highly confident person when I'm really on the up. I want to know, what made you feel less of in that situation, rather than feeling like, man, I got this, like, I'm the youngest up in here, I'm doing this, like,
Because to me, it was going to medical school was just a totally different workload than what I was used to. And when people have went to get their masters or have had a career or, have been in this field already, they had more knowledge in things that I didn't. So when it came to a teacher asking questions about something and they would say stuff, I would be looking like, I didn't know that. So it just made me feel insecure. And I took it as okay, because I didn't have a lot of experience, that is why I didn't know these things. It wasn't until going through school and realizing there were certain classes that I excelled in, and those same people, they struggled. And then there was classes that I may have struggled in a little bit more and they excelled in. So then it taught me, like, we're all on our own separate journeys. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses. We can all help each other. It's not a comparison. It's not a competition. I didn't look at it as a competition, but I compared myself a lot to say, okay, well, I'm not as smart, or I'm not as smart, but I'm not as experienced or confident because of my age.
Yeah.
So that experience really showed me a lot and helped me grow more and helped me love myself and just accept me for where I am right now.
Yeah, be more confident with yourself.
Exactly. And it's still a work in progress because I still do think, like, okay, well, I need to present myself this way because I'm a physician. And the thing is, like, when I'm with my patients, I'm me. Like, I crack jokes, I laugh, I'm my normal personality, and I get, I get compliments still, and people still are like, okay, like, they enjoy that.
Yeah.
So I'm just now still in the process of, okay, I can be exactly who I am, and the people who are meant to be here, the people who I'm meant to interact and heal and help, they're going to be the ones who come to me.
So maybe I missed it. And no, I don't think I missed it. So what are the things that you do?
Oh, for self-love?
Yeah, to help.
So for me, I really feel like, especially because I'm in naturopathic medicine, so it's all about holistic care. So it's about treating the mind, body, and spirit. So that's a big thing for me. I listen to, like, a lot of webinars, and I just finished reading the book, The Power of Now. So I just do things that are going to teach me more about how to love myself, how to be more present, how to, like, what foods I should eat, and how to stay active, because all of those things combined are going to make you healthy in mind, body, and spirit.
Okay.
So what I do is I eat better. We eat a whole food, plant-based diet. And
for the most part,
we eat a plant-based diet. It's not always whole food, I should say. Some of it's processed. Is that what you're saying?
yes.
Okay. But we do eat a plant-based diet. And then I do yoga. I'm getting back on it. I fell off a little bit, but I do yoga. I just, even taking Kai for a walk in the mornings, like, it just gives me time just to be outside and be in the sun, be in nature. And I think that being in nature is a big thing that a lot of us lack nowadays. But that's also been, like, studies have shown that just being in nature, like, just helps you be more present and decreases anxiety and stress. And
really,
yeah. So I think that's important. And then another thing I do, and I'm trying to do more of, is meditation. That's another thing that just helps. It just helps quiet all the noise.
Yeah.
It helps quiet all the noise and really puts in perspective what's really important. Because a lot of the things that we stress about aren't really important.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it, but
you have in the past.
Yeah, and it actually helps. I was actually talking to Raji about it yesterday.
Your friend?
Yeah.
You could have just said your friend.
I mean, yeah, I didn't think too much of it. But when I was talking to him about it, I was talking to him about that and the power of now. Could you actually explain more about what
The Power of Now is?
Yeah.
So, The Power of Now is a book by, and I may pronounce his name wrong, Eckhart Tolle. And basically, the book is about enlightenment and being present in the current moment. So, he discusses how the past and future is an illusion, and time basically is an illusion. And not, like, I know people are probably like, what? Oh, no, not listening to that garbage. But in the sense that the past was now for you. Like, when you were going through those moments in the past, that was your now. So to be present in what you're going through right now is what allows you to like, not have all the stress, not have all the worry, because right now at this moment, it's like, what's really important? And it also helps you clear your mind too, because a lot of times we don't even realize how much our minds just run us, and thoughts and scenarios and just different things go through our mind all the time. So being very present and being in the now allows you to quiet your mind. And with that, you get a sense of peace, and you get a sense of you get a sense of oneness.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good book for you guys to read. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm going to read it after I'm done with this decoded book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's reading. So we both started reading books, and I want our challenge to be, not even a challenge, but I want our Okay, sorry. My dog just sat on my lap and put his head towards the microphone like he's about to speak. What's up, Kai? Can you get your butt off of me? Thank you.
Come on.
Hold on, I'll be back. You continue with what you're reading.
Huh?
You continue with what you're reading.
Okay. But I've been reading Decoded, Jay-Z's book. It's pretty dated, but it's pretty good. I've been actually, I don't know. I've been surprised about what goes through his mind. You wouldn't think about the things that go through his mind. You wouldn't think about how sensitive he is to certain subjects. One thing that got me was about the Hurricane Katrina incident, how sensitive he was. I never really noticed about how there were news helicopters and swooping in, get footage, and wasn't really saving people, but it really touched him in a way that really just made him want to turn off the TV. But anyway, it helped me see him in a different light. It also helped me see art in a different way. I've got to read his lyrics and things like that. I think it's a good book. I think it's something not everyone, because, other people don't look at everything the same. But as an artist, I think you should pick up that book and give it a read. It's really good. I don't think it's a difficult read either. I don't think it's a difficult read, so I think y'all should go out and pick that up.
Okay, so I'm back. So to summarize, self-care is just invaluable. It's something that we all need to do. Self-love, is invaluable. It's something that we all need to do more of. And I think, especially in this world today, you just see a lot of terrible things on the news and just heartbreaking things all around us. Yeah. So I think with more self-love, our world can change and we would treat each other better. And that leads us into our next topic. We want to discuss these just insane, unnecessary murders that have been occurring, and the fact that people are recording them and just not helping, but sitting there recording someone either being murdered or someone's, body just laying there and not even calling for help. So there was 2 situations that recently happened. One was with XXXTentacion.
Yeah.
Sorry if we got the name wrong. He's a young rap artist, and he was recently robbed and murdered, leaving a car dealership. And they recorded his body while he was dead in the car.
Just slumped.
In the car. And people were just around him looking in the car at his, breathless body. And the thing is just sad because it's just like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, why are people so comfortable with taking someone else's life? Why are we so comfortable? Not we, because I'm not. But why are people so comfortable with pulling out their camera to record horrific events, but not quick to help?
No, I think that's the thing that got me, is the pulling out the camera and recording it, and it being on Instagram. When I seen it, I was like, wait a minute, like, this is actually on Instagram?
Why is that allowed? Because I know So in our childhood, a lot of things were not allowed on the radio. They weren't allowed on TV until after a certain, time when kids were supposed to be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, with freedom of expression and freedom of speech, that's fine. But nowadays there's no, and I guess people don't want the censorship, but I do think there's a limit. Yeah. I do think that we still, as a society, we lack compassion towards others. And having all these fight videos and these murders just so blatantly put online, it's making our society numb. We had a conversation about this before, honey, and you were saying how people are just becoming numb to it all.
Yeah, they are.
They see it all the time. And go ahead.
Wasn't there a situation where someone drowned in front of?
Yeah. So there was another situation that happened a while back, and it was this man who was intellectually disabled, and he's not laughing that he's intellectually disabled. No, yeah. He's laughing at the term because we had a conversation about the term too in the past. Yeah. But there was a man who was intellectually disabled, and he and his wife, I believe, got into an argument. And so he went for a walk, and he ended up in a lake behind, I think it was their apartments. Don't quote me. This is what I believe. I remember from the situation. Mm-hmm. And there were some teens who were sitting outside of the lake in the grass area, watching this man in the lake as he lost his life. And they recorded him, and they said out of their, it was just disgusting. They said out of their mouth, oh, he's about to die. Oh, he just died. It's just sickening. It's like your instinct isn't to go, let me call somebody, let me go try to save him if I can swim. I just don't get, it blows my mind, and it's just it just disgusts me that people don't have compassion towards other people or don't care anymore.
And I don't even understand that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. The first thought behind my mind is this is a lake behind some apartments. How deep could it be? Mm-hmm. Y'all just gonna watch this man just die.
Oh, you're saying how deep can it be if you can't really swim, but to go in there and try to save him?
I can't even swim.
But you would try.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do I can't.
Yeah.
I can't watch that.
And I would be call 911, because even if you couldn't swim and you went in and tried and you couldn't get to him or something, at least somebody's on the way to help take him out and do CPR to help resuscitate him. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense that you can sit there and watch this and have no heart or compassion to want to help.
Yeah, did they say that they walked away from that or what?
I don't know. They recorded it, and I don't even think that they were able to find the body until the video was put up on social media. Yeah. They didn't even know where this poor man was. His family didn't know anything until the video was put up on social media. So they did walk away. Yeah. And they didn't call for help. They didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, I think.
But social media, because that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so check this one out. And I think you said this one was on video, and I think they put it on the news.
Yeah, this one was on video, and it happened about 2 days ago, I believe. Yeah. And it was a situation, this 15-year-old boy, he was at a grocery store, and he was stabbed multiple times by grown men with machetes and murdered. And after they stabbed him, he ran himself to the hospital before he bled out and died. And the reason why, it was a Dominican gang, and the reason why they did it is because there was a sex tape released on social media, and they thought that this boy was the one who released it. And it turns out that this boy wasn't even the one who released the sex tape. And they ended up apologizing to his family via messenger on Facebook, saying sorry, it was the wrong person. Yeah. But the thing is too, that was recorded. People were standing around there. I didn't watch a video. I just can't watch videos like that. It just doesn't sit with my spirit, right? So I can't watch videos like that. But people were recording that video, they watched as this young boy was murdered by grown men.
So was this a phone video too?
Like someone recorded on their phone.
Somebody like recorded.
I didn't watch
happening?
the video, but yeah, it recording. I don't know if it was from the security tapes from the store, or if it was actually people recording as well. But I know there's a video that shows the whole thing, and I can't watch it. I can't allow myself to watch. Like, I just can't.
I'm gonna take a look at it, but as a matter of fact, I'm about to pull it up. But yeah.
Well, you could watch it, but I'm not. But yeah, but it's just really sad that in this generation, like, we brought up those topics to say, like, it's just sad that in this generation that we're living in, it's okay to stand by and do nothing while you see people being hurt and you see people just being murdered. And it's okay to just post it online for clicks and likes and views. And now it's okay for us to be numb towards the death of others.
All right, so still keeping it on self-love, though, what is something that, because I believe that you could link self-love back to family and everything like that. Do you think that had, like, people's relationships and things like that have anything to do with that?
Oh, of course. I believe that in a lot of these people who commit these acts, a lot of them probably have a story to tell. We all have a story to tell, but I'm sure that there's like lack of love in their lives and, you know, situations that they went through that made them so cold and numb. However, I think if we collectively just were nicer to people and showed people love and had respect for people, it would trickle down. Because I don't know. Like a lot of people say, like, this stuff has been going on. It just because social media made it bigger. I understand that, but why is it okay? Still, why is it okay?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Let's see here. How far are we in right now? Oh, we over our little.
So we thought it was going to be 30-minute podcast. We may extend it to an hour, so we'll see. So with that being said, for those situations, just show each other more love, show each other more compassion. I love when I see people do, like, just acts of goodness towards people they don't even know. Like, that stuff really touches my heart. And you don't have to record it. Be that secret hero. Like, be that, you know, that person that just does nice things. And I'm telling you, like, the more good we put out, the more it'll come back to us and the more that it'll just be in this world.
Yeah, so. And it's not hard. You got to realize that maybe you might not have a lot, but there are people that don't have anything. So you don't have to invest that much into those people for them to actually appreciate what you're doing for them.
Yeah, and you don't have to giving your time.
Yeah.
You can go volunteer somewhere. You can just like hug somebody if you see them down. You can stand up for what's right. Like, it's just little things like that. It doesn't have to be monetary. You can just do things, you know, to make somebody else feel special.
The best part about being in an environment like that, I believe, is that it's all positive energy. There's no negativity, like,
right.
At
Even
all.
the hard times aren't negative.
I don't even know what a hard time. The only hard time about that is the work.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about like volunteering, doing nice stuff for people and things like that.
Oh, when you volunteering is positive energy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I would say, like, seeing someone struggle or seeing that someone doesn't have, like, that's, to me, that's still, like, that's not necessarily positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, helping them is positive.
No, yeah.
But knowing their life situation right now, that part is a little, like, it's humbling. It's really humbling. It's not negative. It's not negative. It's just it's just sad that
it's
anyone
humbling
has
for the
to
right
struggle.
person. It's humbling for the right person, because I believe that there's some people that's a little bit over the top that still, you know, they give back and do their thing, but they still over the top. That's just what.
What do you mean over the top?
Like, they don't, like, they still gonna show off and everything like that.
Well, no, I'm not
humbling
saying
as in what?
Humbling as in realizing that what you have can be gone the next day, that you can still enjoy what you have. I don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying what you have, but not being so like connected to it to where you think that, oh, because I have this, I'm X, Y, and Z. But like you can still enjoy nice things. There's no problem with that. I'm just saying it's humbling because you realize like there's a world outside of that. There's people who are struggling and like got, you know, you were blessed with having these things or, you know, being able to afford these things, but that's not a guarantee.
That's true.
So that's what I was saying by that. But trying to not to say our next topic is going to be about health. So I talked a little bit about yoga earlier, and I think this ties really well into self-care as well and self-love, because yoga is something that's amazing to connect mind, body, and spirit. It'll help increase your flexibility, your strength. It also keep you focused in the now because you're mindful of like the movements you're making. It'll help you with like deep breathing. And for a lot of people, yoga helps decrease anxiety. It also helps decrease chronic pain and inflammation. What? Why are you laughing?
No, I was just thinking about the tricks you could do in and now.
Oh, that's an inside joke that we're not going to discuss right now. But yeah, it helps increase flexibility, helps decrease pain. It helps decrease stress and anxiety, depression. Yoga is just an amazing thing that you can do.
Yeah, and you be on it. I'll say that much.
Yeah, and you did it too with me.
Yeah, I've done how many times? Maybe a handful.
Yeah, but still, you at least tried it with me. And how'd you feel?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I felt different. It felt good. Like posture wise and everything like that. Boy, the first time that I did it though, it hurt.
Yeah, it's strengthening. People don't necessarily think of yoga as like a muscle building or strengthening exercise, but yoga, some of these moves, and we're just in beginner level. Like when you see them experts out there and you see them videos of them balancing and stuff like that, it's amazing body control that you gain from doing yoga as well.
My handful of times helped me gain an appreciation for people that do yoga. Yes, because I know that it's work.
Yeah, and you can do this in the privacy of your home. You can go to classes. I use an app called Down Dog, and I just download that, and it's really nice because it shows, like, the person does it with you. There's also YouTube videos that you can do and watch, and just doing, even if you start off with just 15 minutes a day to 30 minutes a day, like, you'll start to notice a big difference. So that's our health tip for the week. And
since you're talking about yoga and the mind and everything, like, what? Because
you're going to talk about meditation? We could do that in another one. Okay. Because that's another definitely great benefit, and we could talk a little bit deeper about that.
All right.
Cool. All right. So, you want to talk about our power trip of the week?
All right, cool. So the power trip come from when we were in DC. When we got off when we got off the plane.
To the baggage claim.
At baggage claim. Basically, it's very, very light, but I'd say it's like, okay, you're knocking down.
Kai, go sit down, baby. Excuse us.
But anyway, when we got down to baggage claim, basically she wanted me to call my mother and ask her the name of the hotel. Not a big problem, but I'm kind of like, all right, well, we need to go outside for one. We still need to wait for the bag, and we've been at airports and we never know when the bag is coming. So I'm not really in a rush. I understand proactivity, but I'm just not in a rush. So she continued to say it multiple times, and I'm trying to explain to her why I'm not doing it, and she's cutting me off, telling me, no, you need to call your mother right now.
Okay, simmer. No. Okay, guys, let me tell my side of the story because that was a little inaccurate.
No, that's exactly what happened.
No. So first, when we got to the airport, he called his mom. Okay. And while he was on the phone with her,
and she was getting her nails done or something like that.
Why? Okay, yeah, that's
that's
minute. So
for you,
okay. So while he was on the phone with her, he asked her. He was like, "So to get for the hotel shuttle, what should we do?" And she said, "Well, just call the hotel and find out." So then he gets off the phone. And we're at baggage claim, and I'm like, well, he's like, I was like, do you know what hotel we're staying at?
And I'm like,
and
nah,
he said
I forgot.
no. And I said, you were just on the phone with her, asking her about the shuttle.
But she's saying this after I'm like, nah, I forgot. Okay, I told you I forgot. I know this already.
So I was like, okay, we'll call her back and get the name of the hotel so that we could just figure out about the shuttle. And what did you do? At that point,
I was just chilling. I was
he didn't move. So that's my thing. My thing was, okay, I know you heard me now. You can hear.
The bag.
And then I said,
the funny thing is, the bag thing, the carousel, it wasn't even moving.
Okay, so my thing is, honestly, it was a power trip. I understand how it's a power trip because he didn't have to do it right then and there when I wanted him to. And, I mean, I was power tripping because I wanted him to do it right then and there when I wanted to.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I could have just called her myself or sent her a text and said, what's the name of the hotel? Because I do have her, contact information. But in that moment, I didn't think... hold on. In that moment, I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't think that he was going to feel some type of way about me saying that to him there. But he felt like I kept repeating myself for him to get his act together. And I guess I was. So I was power tripping, guilty.
Yeah. Or you could have just said, I know he heard me. Maybe he got this.
No. That wouldn't come to my mind. Because if you heard me, you need to acknowledge that you heard me. Don't just sit there chilling.
No. I'm pretty sure I said okay.
No, baby, you didn't.
No.
You didn't.
No.
So, fellas, acknowledge your woman when she's speaking to you.
You can't say that you was power tripping and then say that I didn't answer you, because I think that would be wrong.
No, I was power tripping because I kept repeating it.
Yeah, but if I never said anything.
You didn't answer, because I asked, okay, when we rewind the tapes, listen, I said, after I said, call your mom back, and ask her what's the name of the hotel. I said, then what happened?
I did say I was chilling.
Exactly. So that means no response.
No, but not like that. I figured I would have acknowledged it and I would still be chilling, not moving after I said okay.
Yeah, so well, even in that sense, if you say okay and
then
you don't
you power
move,
tripping.
No, not that I'm power tripping. Then I'm gonna say it again. That's gonna give me reason to say it again because you said okay and then you're not doing it. You could have said,
oh no, okay. So if I did acknowledge it though, and I said okay, you could say
no. Don't tell me what I could say.
No,
and I think that's the problem
not
too.
What you can say. I'm saying
we're both power tripping too because we always tell each other. We always say what the other person could have done, even though I already said what I could have done differently. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he will talk about what he could have done differently.
No, you have your options, and I'm just.
Well, what could your options have been then?
What could my options?
Yeah, that have been differently.
I could have said that I'm gonna call him after we got the bag.
Okay, exactly. So, but I was
let me
power
finish
tripping.
what I was saying though.
Oh, what?
You could have said
what?
No, you couldn't have said anything, but you could have been like, all right, he said okay, he got this, cool. I don't have to say anything.
That's not how my mind works.
Now if we got outside and then I'm still sitting there and I don't know anything, then you could have been like, all right, I told you.
No, my mind doesn't work like that. So that's not how it would have went. That's not how it went, and that's not how it would have went for me. Because if I said it and you just said okay, then I'd expect you to do it right then and there. If you would have said initially,
but that's like you don't think that's like saying you giving me an order?
That's why I said I understand that it's power tripping. Okay. But I'm telling you with the interaction, if you just say okay, then in my mind, I'm going to say, okay, well, if you said okay, do it. But if you say initially, I'll do it after we get our bags, then in my mind, I'll be like, okay, that's why he's not doing it now.
Yeah.
So I get that I was power tripping because I wanted him to do it right then and there. Even after he said he'll do it after we get the bags, I'm like, just do it now.
Okay.
That's why I was power tripping. But I'm just saying how I would react differently to, like, why I kept saying it. So in my head, I kept saying it because I just got the okay at first.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was a power tripper, y'all. But yeah. So this is the end of our episode. And next week, what are we talking about again, honey? What did you want to tell them about?
What?
Oh, the BET Awards. Those are coming on this week, right?
Actually, tonight, I think.
Tonight? Okay. So we will be discussing the BET Awards. So you guys stay tuned. And make sure you guys comment below. Please let us know about how you incorporate self-love and self-care into your life. Have you tried yoga? Also, let us know. Go ahead.
And do you want to go ahead and jump into meditation next week then?
Yeah, we'll talk about meditation next week. I'm down with that. And then also let us know if you're going to be watching the BET Awards as well. All right. Anything else you want to say, honey?
Make sure you guys go and follow us on all social media. Make sure you guys play this on SoundCloud and YouTube. Share and like. We really would appreciate that. I think that's about it, though. Make sure that on all social media is the PowerTrip Podcast, and please send us emails as well with your comments and anything you would like us to talk about at thepowertrippodcast@gmail.com. By the time you guys are hearing this, it's probably like Wednesday by now, but I hope you guys are having a good week. Mm-hmm. Happy hump day. Pray that the rest of the week goes very smooth for you guys.
Yes, and we pray full blessings and prosperity over all of you guys. Until next time.
Goodbye. See you later.
See you later. We don't say goodbye. Later.